Robin Ventura, the manager, in his second season with the White Sox. Let's take a look at Chicago's lineup now. Top of the order, Alejandro De Aza has a knack for getting things going. Last year, he had 4 leadoff home runs. That would have been the most by a White Sox player since 2001, and Alex Rios returns to the place where his big league career started. For Rios, 417 games at Rogers Center. He's got 53 home runs, and they'll go up against their former teammate, Mark Buehrle.
Mark Buehrle making his 3rd start of the season. You can see the record there, no wins, no losses. High ERA, and unlike Mark Buehrle, he's got to work down in the zone like Pat had mentioned early in the pregame, and he's got to try to get ahead of a few more hitters. Going to have a tough task tonight facing his old teammates.
You can bet there's a few emotions. He pitched 12 seasons with the Chicago White Sox. Here's the first pitch of the ball game from Buehrle. He throws a strike. You mentioned De Aza, off to a .250 start, 3 home runs. He's a pretty good igniter at the top of their order. Did he go around? The appeal to third, yes indeed, down at third base. Manny Gonzalez rings up the strike. It's 0-2.
Got a lot of speed in De Aza, so everybody's got to shorten up on the infield. There they are. You see Kawasaki at shortstop taking a couple of steps in, even with 2 strikes.
Just off the outside edge. Emotions have to be in play for Mark Buehrle tonight.
Well, some of the guys in the lineup, really, he doesn't know that well, but there's probably half the lineup that are been around a long time.
Ball is hit to left. Melky Cabrera has a beat on it. He makes the catch, and it's the first out of the ball game.
Well, with Mark Buehrle on the mound, you've got to be on your toes defensively. Let's take a look at the defense. Blue Jays have played airless baseball in the 3 games in Kansas City. Cabrera, Rasmus, Bonifacio will form the outfield. On the left side of the infield, it'll be DeRosa and Kawasaki. On the right side of Stewart and Encarnacion. The battery tonight, JP Arencibia and Mark Buehrle. And that left side is important because no Jose Bautista. Been playing third. He's got a little bit of a bad back. So Mark DeRosa, who's been battling a groin problem, will take over at third base. And Kawasaki's been playing some good shortstop since Reyes went down.
Jeff Keppinger playing at third base tonight. Blue Jays know all about Keppinger. They saw way too much of him last year with Tampa Bay.
Well, he's got a short swing, and he covers the plate extremely well. You try and get him outside, and he punches it right back through the middle. If you make a mistake inside, he can pull it.
Jack, what do you think you see from Buehrle so far? How's he doing with his butterflies?
Well, again, he's not facing, guys that make him giggle. Konerko's going to make that happen.
And ball is past Buehrle into center, and Keppinger continues to hit well against the Blue Jays. Last year, he hit .425 against Toronto as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's what I mean. You pitch the ball away, and he'll hit it right back through the middle. Watch where this pitch is. It's down, and it's away. Buehrle, the 4-time Gold Glover, had thoughts of maybe reaching back with that pitching hand and thought better.
So Alex Rios, the former Blue Jay, will stand in against Mark Buehrle. Rios had a terrific offensive season last year. He had career highs in batting average at .304. Also career highs in home runs and RBIs.
So he can give you the power, and he's also got the great speed.
Ripped to left field. Cabrera is going to play it on a hop, and Rios has a base hit. Keppinger had to make sure that was safely down in front of the left fielder. He advances to second.
Rios has been swinging a very hot bat. You saw the numbers. 375 now, and he was all over that pitch. Looked like a changeup, Jack.
Yeah, it was down and away, and that's, they're staying away, which I guess that split the middle of the plate right there, but it was down. You can't stay away unless you're willing to go inside. That's what sets up that pitch down and away.
Well, here's one of those guys you were talking about, Jack, Paul Konerko, and the giggle factor certainly has to be in play. Look at Konerko. He's not even looking at
He doesn't even want to. We talked to him in length before the game, and he said, I know he told me he's going to hit me. And he said, I want to get hit by a guy like him. It's not going to hurt.
Buehrle's in a jam.
He also said that Mark's, he's always watched him from first base. He never watches his antics on the mound. And he said he never had to look at him in the eye. So he said that's going to be a little different.
Okay, he's not even really squaring up on him until he has to. First and second, one out. Foul back.
You talk to some of the guys who were teammates of Burley's over there in Chicago, and to a man, they all said he was a great teammate, one of the best teammates that they have ever played with. Burley doesn't look like he's looking in at Konerko either.
They're both doing a good job of disguising their emotions right now.
It's easier for Burley because he's in a jam. Konerko behind 0-2. Base hit to left field. Keppinger had to hold up on the line drive, and now he's being waved home. The throw goes to second. Here comes Keppinger in to score. Good job by the third base coach, Joe McEwing, as he saw Melky Cabrera come up and look to second, and he waved Keppinger all the way in from second.
The runner at second base, that was Keppinger. He wasn't real sure if Kawasaki, the shortstop, was going to catch that line drive off the bat of Konerko. Here it is right here. And so he's holding up, actually going back. Cabrera, if he comes up firing to the shortstop, they hold that base runner, but he goes into second base trying to throw in behind the runner, and that allows Keppinger to score.
Chicago's up 1-0. Dunn goes after the first pitch. Pops it into left field. Cabrera makes the catch. Take another look at that base runner from second, Jeff Keppinger.
Because Cabrera had to back up, that helped him. You're the runner at second base, less than 2 outs. You've got to make sure that that line drive will find the outfield. And then you run as hard as you can until that base coach stops you. Good aggressive running there and a good read by the third base coach, McEwing.
2 outs. White Sox have taken a 1-0 lead. Diane Viciedo, the left fielder. If you're wondering why everybody's got 42 on, of course, it's April 15th, and that is Jackie Robinson Day. So everybody in baseball today wearing the number 42 to commemorate Jackie Robinson's great career. He made his major league debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers April 15th, 1947. So since 1997, baseball has been honoring Jackie Robinson and the number 42.
And that 42 has been retired all around baseball except for one guy. Still wearing it.
Broken bat looper. That's going to drop for a base hit. Rios is around third. He's going to score. Viciedo delivers a fluke RBI single, and it's 2-0 Chicago.
Well, what we're seeing out of Burley is he's getting up in the zone too high again. Like Pat said, he keeps the ball down. That ball right there got in on him, but as you can see, it's in a little too high, and he's able to fight it off where that ball maybe 2 inches lower is going to break his bat and get a ground ball.
Doesn't make that hitter reach for the ball. It's right into the swing plane of that hitter. Looked like they tried to jam him just a little bit more. Everything early in this inning was away. That at bat against Viciedo was in. There, that's where he's got to live, right there.
He does. The ball's down and away, and gets 2 strikes. He can even go a little bit further. The Tommy John thing, 2 inches further out, 2 inches further low.
Alexei Ramirez, the shortstop. Ball on the strike.
It's just ironic how many times that the Blue Jays have given up the lead early. We're always the hitters are always trying to catch up, and that's a hard thing to do when it happens night in and night out.
John Gibbons was talking about that the other day, that he wants to see some zeros early.
Now there's a line drive that is right to the shortstop, and that will end the inning. Chicago scores 2 runs on 4 hits in their half of the first. Top of the order for the Jays, Emilio Bonifacio, Melky Cabrera, and J.P. Arencibia are batting third tonight. That's it. They trail 2-0 as they go to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at that Blue Jays lineup. Top of the order, Emilio Bonifacio is in right field and plays with Jose Bautista. Melky Cabrera had a great road trip, 10 for 24 on the road trip, a .417 batting average. Adam Lind has done a great job against Gavin Floyd. He has hit a home run. He's 6 for 16 against the White Sox right-handed.
And just like Mark Buehrle, he's looking for his first win of the year and his third start. He's the longest tenured starter in the White Sox rotation now that Mark Buehrle is gone. Had a career record of 70 wins and 68 losses, so he's just around 500.
Always known for a great curveball. He's got to get that over, I think, to be effective here tonight.
Blue Jays have had more than their share of early deficits that they've had to dig out of. Emilio Bonifacio takes the first pitch strike from Gavin Floyd. I mentioned Bonifacio is in right field tonight. Jose Bautista is out of the lineup with a stiff back. How much does it help Floyd to have an early lead like this to get settled into a game in the first?
Well, you just want to take the ball and throw it across the plate. That first inning, when you can go out to the mound with a lead, it's as simple as I'm not walking anybody. You don't want to anyway, but especially when you have runs behind you, you got to challenge them. Get the guys off the field. Get them right back in the dugout.
Sliced into the seats down the left side. Bonifacio hitting .209. Going. He has 5 doubles and a triple, so you can see he's got a little extra base pop. Off the glove of Adam Dunn. Bonifacio is headed for second, and he'll get there, and there's another double. Number 6 for Bonifacio, and he flashes Loviste.
That's 3 doubles now that he turned singles into doubles already this season with that great speed. Over in Kansas City, 0-2, they threw him a curveball and he lashed it off the right field wall. This time, right off of Adam Dunn's glove at first base. If he doesn't knock that ball down, that's 3. But he slows it down, gives Tyler Green a chance to run it down, but it's too late. It's a double for Bonifacio. You see how hard that ball was hit by Boni. Good start by the Blue Jays.
Dunn making his 5th start of the season at first base. Melky Cabrera, we mentioned a good road trip. Wants to keep that going right here at Rogers Center. Off the glove of the catcher, and Bonifacio moves to third. Tyler Flowers just kind of waved at that ball. It clanked off his glove and went back to the screen.
Yeah, he might have been crossed up. Bucky's going out there and talk about it. But still, that's a catchable ball. He's got to put a little better effort than that in.
And at second base, they go through that series of signs right out there. Somebody didn't get the memo.
Well, it's a great opportunity for the Blue Jays to get right back in this ball game. Man at third and nobody out. Pass ball charged to Tyler Flowers, and Gavin Floyd has to work out of the stretch.
You know, one of the reasons why Cabrera had such a great road trip was he stayed in the middle of the field. He had hit the ball right back through the middle. He went the other way. Had a fantastic trip. And he is starting to heat up with that nice short swing.
Got a great RBI opportunity here in the first. Cabrera, we mentioned his road trip numbers, 10 for 24, but he's just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
Didn't strike out one time on that road trip also, so he's starting to see the ball a lot better.
That elevated fastball Cabrera went after.
Now right there, he's thrown 3 pitches up in the zone, so maybe that might be one of the scouting reports. Let's try to see if he'll chase up.
Really sets up that breaking ball too. He's got a good one.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball is driven into center. Bonifacio goes back to third and tags, and the Blue Jays have cut the lead in half. 2-1 ball game as Melky Cabrera picks up the RBI with the sacrifice fly, his second ribby of the season.
Now, good hitters take that information that Cabrera just had. We were just talking about the high fastballs, and he's going to put it in his brain and think about that the next time he comes up against Gavin Floyd.
Yeah, the thing to keep in mind right there is that pass ball created a run. If he's on second base, he tags, goes to third. Floyd's still got a chance to get out of the inning.
JP Arencibia batting third, goes after the first pitch. It's a great point, Jack. Last year, Chicago was the best defensive team in the American League. It's been a different start for them, and although that pass ball's not an air, they're kicking it around a lot early. JP Arencibia, 3 homers and 8 RBIs. Into that third spot in the batting order with Bautista out.
Back-to-back sliders right there. 2 of them off the plate, and he gets JP chasing the second one.
Looks like they want to stay down and away from Arencibia, away from that power swing.
Another pitch outside. Well, we have seen this steady pattern from everybody pitching to Arencibia.
This is the modern way of pitching. For most guys, quite honestly, you watch the game and you watch the pitch selection, everything's down and away, and that's why hitters are hitting those pitches down and away.
Ball is driven to right and deep. Rios looking up. It is off the top of the wall and gone. JP Arencibia saw a lot of pitches outside, and he stayed on that one, and it's his 4th homer of the season. We are right back to square one. It's a 2-2 ball game.
You know, Jack, you and I have had this discussion all spring long about pushing the hitters off the plate, at least showing them one pitch inside just to move them around. They kept pounding him away. You're going to run into trouble. Another slider hung up over the plate. He sees the ball out there, and he powers it out of the ballpark.
If you don't keep the hitter honest inside, move their feet once in a while, you're going to never be able to get them out consistently away.
Just the second time Arencibia has hit third in his big league career. He was 0 for 3 before that home run as the 3-hitter in the lineup. Edwin Encarnacion. That's a more effective pitch right there.
Well, and he moved his feet. And I promise you, talking to most hitters, and Tabby, you can talk about it. You get one inside there and you have to run off the plate, you don't have the same feel for at least a pitch or two.
Yeah, and you have to dig a new hole for that back foot to plant in.
Little tapper, this is going to be trouble. Keppinger bare hands and can't find the handle. A base hit for Encarnacion. Maybe the Blue Jay bats are starting to wake up.
You have to play deep. You have to respect the power of Encarnacion. When he takes a full swing like this and dribbles it, it's a do-or-die play for that third baseman. He's got to come in, field it cleanly, and they just can't. Keppinger comes in, tries to barehand it. I don't even know if he would have thrown him out at first base. But you can see how deep he is at third, respecting that great power of Encarnacion.
Yeah, if you're going to have to come in on a guy like him, you might as well put some equipment on.
Like a goalie's outfit. 1 out. Lind steps in the box. Encarnacion at first. Breaking ball strike. We mentioned Lind and his good numbers against Gavin Floyd. 6 for 16 with a homer. His season numbers, 138. He hasn't hit a homer yet. Ball on the strike. Lynn told me before the game during batting practice he feels great at the plate. He said, I'm getting a lot of pitches to hit and put pretty good swings on him, but right now I'm not really squaring him up. This ball is off the wall. Encarnacion will end up at third, and Lind has a double right beyond the outstretched glove of Diaz in center.
Diaz had a long, long way to go out in center field. And when he looked back, it looked like he had a shot at this play. It's another pitch that's over the middle of the plate, right into the swing path of Adam Lind, and Diaz goes back. Looks like he has a shot, and he whiffs at it.
Yeah, he heard that wall coming close to him.
You can see he was playing him to go the other way to left center field. He had a long way to go, just missed it.
First time the Jays have had 4 hits in the first inning of the season. It's a breakout inning for the Jays hitters. Mark DeRosa playing at third base tonight.
Guys, we saw something before the game we haven't seen in a long time. White Sox actually took infield, and part of the reason is they want to see, move the guys around, get them loose, but see how the ball flies off the home plate area.
Well, the Jays have had a little bit of everything here. A line drive off the glove of the first baseman. Then they had a sac fly. Arancibia's home run. Encarnacion with a swinging bunt up the third baseline, and Lind just missed another home run.
Now all we need is a triple, and we'll have a cycle in the first inning.
Just a matter of time before the Blue Jays bats had awakened. 0-2, 1 out.
Well, that pitch right there had a good purpose. Even though it was off the plate, it shows that he's willing to come in there. If you back it up with another one, it sets in a hitter's mind that, hey, he will come inside. But when you're staying away, you can start looking that way.
Yeah, you can't guess with him now. You can hope that you can look for a pitch away, and that's exactly what he gets.
DeRosa strikes out, and there's 2 down.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Chicago White Sox. Only the Angels and Indians have committed more errors than the White Sox this year. Viciedo, Diaz, and Alex Rios in the outfield, left to right. Around the infield, Keppinger, Alexei Ramirez, Tyler Green, and Adam Dunn over at first base. Flowers and Gavin Floyd will be forming the battery, and that is Tyler Green just called up. Gordon Beckham is the normal second baseman. He has a broken hamate bone. He is out. Tyler Green is in.
Colby Rasmus takes a breaking ball for a strike. Tyler Green played 3.5 seasons in St. Louis, and when he went to Houston last year, Houston released him in March, and the White Sox signed him.
Time for a big knock right here. That is something that has been lacking for the Jays the first 2 weeks of the season. That 2-out base hit that cashes multiple runs.
The Blue Jays hitting 195 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Rasmus strikes out. Flowers goes to first. Dunn steps on the bag, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays, on the strength of 4 hits and J.P. Arancibia's 4th home run of the season, have tied the White Sox 2-2. Arancibia goes oppo for home run number 4. Both clubs scoring 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. So it'll be 8-9-1 for Chicago. The catcher Tyler Flowers, who contributed to the White Sox woes in the first. He had a pass ball. That set up the first run of the ball game for the Blue Jays. Mark Buehrle, after giving up 2, is right back in a tie ball game. There's another pitch up in the zone.
Yeah, JP's calling for that ball inside. He's setting up on the inner half, but he leaves it out over the plate and got away with one there.
Flowers has great power. He can hit the ball out at any ballpark. Has been making consistent contact like they'd like to see.
There's a little flare. Kawasaki, the shortstop, retreats into shallow left, makes the catch, 1 down. Fans, it's time for our BlackBerry Sneak Peek Stat of the Game, brought to you by the new BlackBerry Z10, built to keep you moving.
Sometimes it's by design where pitchers want to throw the fastball and get it up. Look at the percentage of high fastballs in 2013 for Mark Buehrle as opposed to 2012. That's not by design. Right now, he wants to get that ball down. And it has been leaking up, and he's been missing his spots early in the season. He's the type of pitcher that doesn't overpower you. He's got to get you to reach for the baseball.
2-0. Number 9 hitter is Tyler Flowers. We mentioned the White Sox signed him April 1st this season. Tyler Green, excuse me. There's a drive to right. Bonifacio gets over, cuts it off. Green makes a big turn, but stops at first. Bonifacio with great speed cut that ball off and kept Green at first.
Well, Pat, I think you made another good point early, is that one thing that Mark Buehrle's had a tough time with, not only throwing the ball up in the zone, but the differential between his changeup and his fastball is just not good enough. He's throwing it very close. Hitters can adjust when it's close. It's just when he throws it considerably less hard, are they going to be either taking it or they're going to be out in front.
Yeah, right now, his first 2 starts of the season, the separation between the changeup and the fastballs, 6 or 7 miles per hour. It needs to be more like 10 or 12. His fastball's been hitting about 84 or 85. Needs to pump that up a couple of miles per hour, or maybe take a little bit more off of that changeup.
Back to the top of the order. Buehrle is picked off Green at first. Nobody's got a better move in baseball than Mark Buehrle. That was pretty easy. Buehrle hangs that front foot up, and Tyler Green gets picked off, so that erases his 1-out single.
You know, you go through the scouting reports and you have meetings and you go, remember, he's got a great move. And Darryl Boston, the first base coach, I'm sure he reminded him before that first pitch that he's got a great pickoff move. Green was just hung up to dry.
You got to love the dance there, though. Nothing looks sillier than the guy trying to dodge a guy with a ball in his hand.
Since 2001, no one has more pickoffs than Mark Buehrle, and he does it with great deception. Yeah. The first time he threw over there, it didn't look like his good move. He showed him the good move right there.
2 outs. Boy, something like that can really get Mark Buehrle right back into the ballgame.
Absolutely, because he gets the out back, erases a hit, no damage done. He gets to go back to his windup. And now you're seeing Mark Buehrle throwing inside a little bit more than he did in the first inning also.
0-2, 2 outs. No swing, says Manny Gonzalez down at third.
Little sharper slider right there, too.
Everything, he's staying back. He's not rushing early in the game. Balls are up in the zone. That means he's rushing with his lower body. Now the ball's coming down at a better angle.
Boy, Aaron Sevia was headed for the dugout, and Diaz, I don't know where he was going. He might have thought that was ball 4, but it's 2-2.
Or strike 3.
Yeah, I think he was going back to the dugout.
Look at pitch tracks. Look where number 5 is.
That doesn't add up. Yeah, they got 2-2. He's fouled the ball off. There's 3 strikes and okay. Anyway, 2-2. He gets jammed, and Torres throws the first, and the inning is over. Mark Buehrle Getting settled in. Picks off Tyler Green after a single. Got to be wondering if they were talking about that pitch to Diaz. Looks like strike 3 on a couple of different occasions.
Well, we thought it was.
Wasn't low. Certainly didn't look low from the pitch tracks, but they also might be talking about he was a little bit more aggressive that inning. Worked a little bit quicker and started jamming some of those hitters.
Breaking ball a little sharper. Got inside a little bit better. Adds to a 1-2-3 inning.
Hell's Kitchen, it's all about ferocity. Watch Gordon Ramsay heat things up Tuesday on City. Choo-choo ball game, and they are waiting for the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo. He is now coming out of the White Sox dugout. The umpire's locker room is behind the White Sox dugout. Randazzo might have had an equipment issue. Went inside and appears to be okay, ready to get back behind the plate. Checking with the catcher, says throw one more pitch just to get me back in the flow of things here.
Rush off home plate. Get it going.
He looks like he might have lost a strap on his chest protector. That's what he was talking to Tyler Flowers about. So it'll be the bottom 2 in the order, and then back to the top of the order is Sturis, Kawasaki, and then Bonifacio. So first pitch strike. Meister Sturis playing at second base. Got a home run already. And he's had good luck against Gavin Floyd. 8 hits and 24 at-bats. Well, I like the pitch tracks. It really gives you an idea what a pitcher is trying to do, exploit the certain different weaknesses of every hitter. Upstairs, high and deep to right. Rios at the track, at the wall. Number 2 for his Sturis.
He threw 3 pitches to Meister Sturis, and every one of them was up. It looks like that arm is dragging just a little bit. He's getting underneath it, and that ball has been up. And Meister turns out he gave up 22 home runs last year. Gavin Floyd, he had 1 coming into this game, and now he has doubled that up to 3. High.
Well, one thing that I tell listeners all the time if you're watching a game on TV is watch the catcher's glove and see how many times the pitcher actually hits his glove, because you're going to make mistakes. That was a mistake. He wanted it down and in, he got it up and in.
Shortstop Munenori Kawasaki shows bunt. He had a bunt single in yesterday's game. Take a look at the catcher's glove again.
Give me this ball.
There's
right
the target down there, and whoops, a little higher.
Had a little spin on it also, like he wanted that slider down and in.
Ball and the strike to Kawasaki. That's why I always liked it when pitchers would come in after the game and said, only made one mistake today. You make mistakes all night long. They all just don't get hit.
Exactly. If you make 8 to 10 and you get away with 7 or 8 of them, you've had a good night.
Kawasaki, we mentioned his bunt single yesterday in the 3rd inning. Munenori Kawasaki played last year with the Seattle Mariners, and he's a very polite young player. Of course, that is a very common tradition in Japan. Every time you meet someone, every time you say hello to someone, there's a courteous bow. And we had that opportunity this afternoon when John Gibbons introduced the 3 of us again to Munenori. That's chopped down the 3rd baseline and foul.
I got to share a little story. My good friend and teammate Dan Gladden, who does broadcasts for the Twins, went over to Japan and he got thrown at twice. And the catcher looked at him and did the bow, and he just went after the catcher. He said, "Enough of that. They're throwing at me."
Yeah. Yeah, you can hit me and then don't expect me to bow back at you. But it's true. In Japan, when a pitcher hits a batter, they'll at least tip their cap like, "I'm sorry, didn't mean to do that." I remember Jack Morse did. No, maybe not.
No.
There's a bouncing ball back to the mound. Kawasaki's retired. No, I don't think I would have ever seen you tip your cap to any hitter.
Well, trust me, I gave up plenty of them. A couple of them I turned around and said, "Wow, that ball's going a long way."
Still no tip of the cap. 1 out. Back to the top of the order. Emilio Bonifacio had a double off the glove of Adam Dunn at first. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Pat, do you think Bonifacio can be a good leadoff man filling in for Reyes?
I don't want to say he's a carbon copy of Reyes, but he's a same type of hitter as Jose Reyes. Switch hitter, punches the ball around the field. He's got outstanding speed. You saw that in the 1st inning when he legged out that base hit for a double.
And the key to him is making contact. He's got tremendous speed, maybe better than Reyes himself.
He's got some pop. Reyes doesn't strike out as much as Bonifacio does. But Bonifacio swings harder. He's looking for those extra base hits. You mentioned all the extra base hits we saw on the road trip.
Boni has 7 extra base hits now, 6 doubles and a triple. Slaps this off the 3rd baseman. He was trying to pop it over his head, and Keppinger makes the catch. 2 down. Mentioned Melky Cabrera. He had a great road trip.
Watch where these hits end up for Cabrera. Everything is away. He's going to hit the ball where the pitcher throws it. And that's got to be a bad feeling for a pitcher when everything you throw up there, a guy is slapping it around.
Well, you mentioned, Pat, that he's hitting the ball up the middle. He's trying to shoot the ball straight ahead. When a hitter does that, you know his timing's good. And he's staying back on the ball. A lot easier to throw to those, harder to throw those guys than guys that are really pulling off the ball.
Probably the hardest ball that he hit on the road trip was an out. Remember that in Kansas City? A couple of runners on, and he smoked a ball to right center field. Probably the only ball he pulled on the road trip. But it was run down by Dyson in center field.
On the ground, Jeff Keppinger at 3rd across the diamond. The inning is over. But the Blue Jays take a 3-2 lead. Home run number 2 for Maicer Asturias. 2 home runs in 10 games. His brother Cesar Asturias hit 2 home runs in 46 games with the Blue Jays. 4-game series. Great prizes to be won. First pitch, autographed merchandise, and T-shirts. Follow the Blue Jays on Twitter. Use the handle @BlueJays and the hashtag #LoveThisTeam. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Tweeting Tuesday tomorrow night. Mark Burley with a 3-2 lead. Keppinger will lead things off. Takes one downstairs. It's a ball and a strike.
And you can see Mark still trying to work his fast pace.
That'd be a better pitch right there as he caught that inside corner.
Cup fastball. You want to get it in there. Right-handers, it's tough to square that ball up.
Burley, the 4-time Gold Glover, makes an easy play of it. He won 3 of those Gold Gloves with the White Sox. He's also got a no-hitter and a perfect game. 2007 against the Texas Rangers, he faced just 27 batters in that game. And then this is the perfect game against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he had everything working. A star at the end of that one to the center fielder, Dwayne Wise, who saved the game for him with a great catch, and they've pretty much immortalized it in Chicago on the wall in left center field where he made the catch to save that perfect game.
They've got a sign out there that just says the catch. Well, that ball is awfully close.
Pretty remarkable. The only guy in baseball history to win multiple Gold Gloves and throw multiple no-hitters. He's all alone.
I'll give you another group that he's in with. Pitchers that have thrown at least 2 no-hitters and 1 being a perfect game. He's just the 6th pitcher to do that. And the list is pretty impressive. Randy Johnson, Sandy Koufax, Jim Bunning, Eddie Joss, and a fellow named Cy Young.
Yeah, we know him.
And Mark Burley, of course.
You know what's impressive about that whole thing, though, you guys, is he's not a guy who throws 95. He does it with smarts, guile, intelligence. He just goes out there and
stays within himself, and that leads to another incredible stat that he has. He's pitching in his 399th consecutive game without any stint on the DL.
There's a good changeup, and look at how he worked Rios all over the strike zone, and he gets the strikeout. We mentioned it, Burley pitched 12 seasons with the White Sox. This is his last game, and that's the pitching coach, Don Cooper, out to acknowledge Burley's career with the White Sox.
That was that day in Chicago against the Blue Jays, and I tell you, that was really fun to watch. He pitched a great game, and they did a neat thing. They got it out, and then the pitching coach went out there and allowed Burley to walk off the field with the crowd. It's almost like a coach calling a timeout in a basketball game so he can take the star out so everybody can give him a standing ovation for the last time off the court.
A terrific gesture and well-deserved. This ball is lined to left field. Melky Cabrera gets there. Konerko making a bid for his 2nd hit of the game off his old buddy. Denied by Melky Cabrera in left. 3 up, 3 down for Burley, top of the 3rd. First Meiser his second of the season. JP Arencibia hit his fourth. And the Blue Jays, boy, they have been pounding out the home runs here at Rogers Center.
Do you get the sense that the team, the at-bats are a little bit better?
I just think they got everything going on. Starting to relax a little bit, too.
Detroit was so miserable. It was freezing. I don't know how you could hit, catch, field, throw, any of that in Detroit. But when they went to Kansas City, it warmed up and it got a little bit better.
Ball on a strike there, and CB. JP did a good job as Floyd was working him away, and he finally went out there and got that pitch and drove it away. That was a good breaking ball, down and away.
Well, that one had some good bite to it in the downward plane, and that's the reason it stayed off the sweet spot on the bat.
You have to stay on top of that ball, don't you, as a pitcher?
That's a pretty good pitch and a good job by the catcher, Tyler Flowers. He was trying to buy some of that inside. Where would you go now, Jeff?
Well, you can see that there is no chance JP had of hitting that ball, and that should tell pitchers something.
He went away with the breaking ball and missed.
Too many guys in our generation not to go backwards, but in our generation we're always taught to back it up, go too inside hard.
Another breaking ball. Tapped foul.
Can you tell what a hitter is doing just by the way he takes a certain pitch?
Well, I think all the good pitchers can. You should be able to read a hitter, knowing if he's diving into a ball, if he's trying to open his hips up and try to get the head of the bat out quicker. Those are all things you have to recognize when you're on the mound.
Another full count pitch to Arencibia. Up and in, and he strikes him out. Good fastball from Floyd, his third strikeout. Fans, if you want your baseball questions answered by our team of experts, email asktheexperts@sportsnet.ca. And then you can keep your eye out for the Home Hardware Ask the Expert segment later on in the game. We got two of the experts up here in the booth, Jack Morris and Pat Tabler, tonight, as we are enjoying our first three-man booth of the season, something we're going to be doing over the course of the year. We stole Jack from radio tonight. Just hope Jerry can get along with us.
Can I thank you publicly now? Sorry, Jerry.
2-0 up and in as Encarnacion ducks back from an inside heater.
Who's he sharing the microphone with tonight?
Dirk Hayhurst.
As if he shares the microphone.
That's a good breaking ball. It looks as though Floyd feels like he's got better command of his breaking ball right now than he does his fastball. On the ground through the left side, Encarnacion 2 for 2 already tonight. Television booth here at Rogers Center is high above the radio booth, and Jerry Howarth and Dirk Hayhurst and Mike Wilner down there at the Fan 590 doing the Blue Jays broadcast. And
there's my buddies.
Tom Young, the producer behind them, the radio broadcast. Of course, Wilner picked up on the fact that we were showing him on camera.
What is he start brushing his hair?
Adam Lynn. We mentioned Lynn's good numbers against Gavin Floyd, 6 for 16 before he hit a double off the top of the fence in right center, and he's got another base hit, rips it into right. Encarnacion will stop at second. Rios has a strong arm.
You mentioned the great numbers that Adam Lynn has had against Gavin Floyd, and he is locked in. I think that is good hitting speed, that breaking ball. Lynn recognizes it and takes a good swing at that one. If he could have gotten that ball airborne, he would have had himself another extra base hit.
Blue Jays with 7 hits already tonight. Well, meeting with the catcher, Tyler Flowers.
Floyd has thrown some really executed some pitches well, and then other ones he's left out over the middle of the plate. And it's amazing that fine line between the middle of the plate and the inner and outer halves.
Mark DeRosa was a strikeout victim his first time up. First and second, 1 out. a fastball in a good spot away. Gavin Floyd coming into this ball game. 1-3 record here at Rogers Center with a 7 ERA. He's given up 14 earned runs in 18 innings pitched before tonight.
You know, looking at some of the numbers in this early season, and it's early for him. The first 3 innings are the innings that Gavin Floyd has dominated this year. It's innings 4 through 6 where he's had his problems, and that might bode well for the Blue Jays here tonight.
Yeah, this has been the exception for Floyd in the early going this season. 0-2 pitch to DeRosa, and why not? You might expect him to push him back. Blue Jays are taking some good hacks at his breaking ball.
Yeah, they are seeing it and seeing it well. Innings 1 through 3 this year, he hadn't gotten up a home run until tonight.
It's bounced foul by DeRosa. Just a reminder, Mark DeRosa is playing third base. Jose Bautista had played third the last 2 games in Kansas City, but he experienced some back stiffness and he was scratched for tonight's game. On the ground, Keppinger at third, second for 1, back to first, not in time. Good job by Lind as he was bearing down on Tyler Green at second and kept the inning alive.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And by the 2013 Honda CR-V, an IIHS top safety pick. Honda is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Runners at the corners, 2 down. Colby Rasmus looking to get things going at the plate. Rasmus struck out his first time up. Off the plate inside. Rasmus now has 18 strikeouts. J.P. Arencibia with a strikeout tonight has 19. They both have hit the home runs. Rasmus has 3. Arencibia with a homer tonight has 4.
Yeah, the way that Colby's swinging right now, you got to trade extra base hits for strikeouts. And right now he is hammering that low fastball. And what he might want to do, Floyd got him last time with a lot of breaking balls. Just lay off that breaking ball. Recognize it out of his hand until you get to 2 strikes and just sit on a fastball.
Well, those 2 fastballs that he's thrown off the plate on the inner half are just to get to the breaking ball. I pretty much guarantee you that if he can work ahead of the count, Floyd's going to throw him that good hard breaking ball.
Yeah, he'll throw him the breaking ball. You lay off it until you get into that count. Maybe he makes a mistake with that fastball.
2-1 pitch outside. A breaking ball missed away. Colby Rasmus established his career high in hits last June 5th in Chicago against the White Sox. He went 5 for 5. Had some night. That was the first night that Laurie hit leadoff and Rasmus hit second in the batting order. Quick throw to first, and Lind is back.
He saw a lot of fastballs that night too, hitting in front of the power guys, and then with Brett Laurie on board. It was right around the All-Star break, and he just took off. He got hot for about a month.
That was a good take right there. Ball's on the outer half. Looks like it's outside according to the box track.
Edwin Encarnacion is 2 for 2 so far tonight. He's the third. Mark DeRosa reached on a fielder's choice. Rasmus with a full count, 2 outs. DeRosa will be on the move. There he goes. Rasmus strikes out another breaking ball, and The Blue Jays strand a pair. They get 2 hits off of Gavin Floyd, and they have a 3-2 lead. Bobblehead Day. It's presented by the Toronto Stars. Sunday, April 21st, the Blue Jays will take on the New York Yankees. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive an Edwin Encarnacion bobblehead. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets. You can also stop by most Rogers Plus locations and pick up your Blue Jay tickets. Look at a shift for big Adam Dunn. They've got 3 infielders on the right side of the bat.
We didn't get a chance to see that his last time up because there are runners on base. They played a traditional infield. Now nobody on. Scouting report says Adam Dunn hits a lot of ground balls to the right side.
Adam Dunn had a terrific season a year ago. In fact, he was named the Sporting News and the Players' Choice Awards for Comeback Player of the Year. He increased his home run total by 30 from 2011 to 2012. He went from 11 to 41.
Yeah, boy, I felt really bad for him in 2011. It was a rough year for Dunn in Chicago. Good to see him come back. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he really is. And you know what, in Cincinnati, he kind of had a bad tag, but he is a terrific teammate. And he went to Washington for a while and became part of their resurgence.
He was good for 40 every year, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he is. He's
good to be a good teammate when you hit 40.
He is.
He could be my teammate.
Tied with Albert Pujols with 6 seasons of 40 home runs. And there he chases that changeup. Well, that's a good pitch. A changeup, lefty on lefty, and Dunn swings right over the top of it.
That's the thing. You can't be afraid to use that changeup. It's one of his best pitches. You've got to throw it to the lefties and the righties, and watch how he gets it underneath that swing of Dunn. Dunn trying to lift that ball out of the ballpark and comes up empty.
Well, it also adds a couple inches to his fastball is what it does.
Ball is driven to right. Bonifacio has good speed. Gets back there and makes the easy catch off the bat of Diane Vicieda. Well, Pat talked about separation early. So you can describe what it does to a hitter when you throw enough changeups to make that fastball more effective.
What it does is the hitter starts seeing the timing. They feel in the timing of your changeup. And that same 87 mile an hour or 90 mile an hour fastball seems like it's 92 or 88 to 90. It's all about the hitter's perception of timing.
I think that's the definition of pitching, disrupting the timing of the hitter.
Mark Buehrle, why he is so effective, he can, what we call it in baseball, he can get you out east and west or north and south. He can get you out trying to lean out over the plate. There's a good change up there. Or he can go inside and outside.
With this start against the White Sox, he has now faced every major league team. He's beaten them all except the White Sox so far and the Mets. He is 0-3 against the Mets in 4 career starts, and this is his first start against the White Sox. Full count.
Again, he moves him off the plate, and even though that ball's a ball, it serves a purpose to get that outside corner.
There's the outside corner, and Ramirez, who played behind Burley for all those years at shortstop, knew he was going away and gets a base hit.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet, brought to you by the 2013 Honda CR-V, an IIHS top safety pick. Honda is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Inside Rogers Center, people loading up with Blue Jays memorabilia. Blue Jays have a 3-2 lead. Flowers goes after the first pitch. DeRosa goes to second for the force out. The inning is over. Lexi Ramirez gets a 2-out base hit on Mark Burley. Meiser Storis, a leadoff home run in the second, his second home run of the season. That has given Blue Jays the lead. Kunenori Kawasaki is on deck. Kawasaki's been quite an interesting addition to this ball club. Boy, you talk about somebody that has fit in immediately. It's Kawasaki.
How about the energy that he brings just for batting practice?
Yeah, he'll run the bases in BP and slide into second. He's supposed to stay in shape.
Another high fastball. That's the pitch that Historis hit out of the ballpark. We mentioned Historis. That home run came in his 10th at bat with the Blue Jays. His brother Cesar Historis, who played here 2001 and beyond, and then was eventually traded to the LA Dodgers along with Paul Quantrill. Cesar had 2 home runs in 46 games, and Meiser has 2 home runs in 10 games. So he'll make a phone call to Cincinnati tonight and tell him, hey, I tied your number in Toronto. Cesar Historis made the Reds team out of spring training.
Tried to bust him in twice. Both of those home runs. Pulled into the bullpen in right field.
1-2 outside.
They just don't think he can get around on the fastball. They have used fastballs exclusively to Historis tonight.
There's another breaking ball, and Floyd definitely has better command of that breaking ball than he does his fastball. He's used it effectively. 5 strikeouts now for Floyd.
Well, away, and then Uncle Charlie that really just splits the middle of the plate, but it's kind of that back door breaking ball that a hitter sometimes gives up on.
Munenori Kawasaki tapped back to the pitcher his first time up.
That's not going to affect him, right? A little fastball, a little chin music.
Kawasaki played in 61 games last year with the Seattle Mariners.
It's an interesting defensive alignment for the White Sox with Kawasaki. Very short on the infield. Look and see. You can see a third baseman, shortstop in. Chops a lot of balls.
That's a base hit. That ball's going to get by the left fielder and go all the way to the wall. Kawasaki is headed toward third. The relay is over the head of the first cutoff man, and he has a triple. So he didn't even flinch when that fastball was up around his chin. He comes back and delivers the triple.
And I also thought the infield was very shallow and the outfield was very shallow, and they pay the price. Look at the left fielder, Viciedo, very shallow. This ball's going to get by him. And he has to track it down finally all the way at the wall as Kawasaki is thinking extra bases right here. And he makes it to third base because they overthrow the cutoff man. If he hits that cutoff man, there's going to be a play at third base. Ramirez, the shortstop's got a great arm for the White Sox.
First big league triple for Kawasaki. Infield has to come in. Bonifacio. Boy, you got to pick up this run. You get a 1-out triple at the bottom of the order, turn the lineup over, and you've got to cash them in.
Get base hits, keep the line moving. Don't think that they will play their contact play right here with the infield in and a very hot hitter on deck. Here's the cutoff man, the throw that I was talking about. It overthrows Ramirez, backed up by Green, and he bobbles it. But if he hits that shortstop, there was going to be a play at third base.
Ramirez has such a strong arm, and that's who you want to handle the ball, and they airmailed him, the first cutoff man. Ball and a strike to Bonifacio. High, deep drive to right, and that'll do it. Rios catches it on the warning track. Kawasaki tags at third, and he will score. Good job by Bonifacio cashing in the runner from third.
You know what he did right there? He cut his swing down. He didn't swing very hard. Situational hitting by Bonifacio is going to get himself an RBI. He is known to never get cheated up there at the plate. That time it looked like he slowed everything down, shortened it up, and got himself an RBI.
Well, that's just good baseball right there. His teammates appreciate it. All high-fiving him. And you want to win friends in your initial week with your new teams. Hit a triple and score a run. Catch every ball that's hit to you.
How about Kawasaki going with the Lovista?
Lovista, he got that, picked that up right away, and I can say, he has really fit into this ball club. He joined the team on Saturday and moved right in.
That's the beauty of baseball. The language barrier is really overlooked sometimes by the simple way to play the game and the energy that he brings. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Blue Jays are all going to be bowing if they continue this.
That's great, man.
A bow and a Loviste. Perfect setup.
I'm pretty sure Moni knows what was going on. I don't know if Munenori knows, but he might.
Cabrera walks with 2 outs. And bring Aaron Seavey to the plate. Blue Jays now have scored 4 runs on 8 hits, and they've hit a couple of home runs off of Gavin Floyd. Robin Ventura's ball club had a winning record against the Jays last year. They went 6-4 for the season and a 3-1 record here at Rogers Center. Floyd gets ahead of Aaron Sebia. And a long home run to right center, bounced off the top of the wall and went out of the ballpark for his 4th homer of the season. That tied the game at 2-2 in the first. Pops this one up left side of the diamond. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, makes the catch in fair ground. The Blue Jays have added a run. They've taken a 4-2 lead. We'll go to the top of the 5th now. It's a time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Son in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Live from Mattamy Athletic Center, formerly known as Maple Leaf Gardens. It all starts Thursday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and check it out. Lots of great curling action right here on Sportsnet. And we are pleased to be joined now by one of the curlers that's going to be involved in the Players' Championship, Jennifer Jones. And Jennifer, thanks very much for joining us. And this has got to be an exciting time of the year as you wrap up the curling season.
Absolutely. We're so excited to start playing, and especially to play in Toronto at the old Maple Leaf Gardens. What a thrill. And it's a thrill to be here and meeting you guys tonight. So thank you.
Oh, that's not that big a deal.
It is for me. No. I remember watching you.
There's a ball driven into center field, and that will get down for Tyler Green. Rasmus gets it over. Tell us about the Players' Championship and how it leads to the culmination of the series. It's part of the Grand Slam of curling.
It is, and it's the biggest event we play in all season. It's the top 15 women's and men's teams from around the world. You have the reigning world champions come in, and it's the best event we play in all year. So we're so excited to play, and hopefully we'll come out and play well.
You've had a pretty interesting year. Tell us about that. You've been pretty busy, haven't you?
I have been busy. I blew out my knee. I tore my ACL last March, and I had a baby in November. But I got back on the ice in January, and I feel like I'm come back stronger than ever.
How important are the events like the Players' Championship as you look ahead to the Olympics? The Olympic trials will take place next December, looking ahead to Sochi.
It's huge for Canadian athletes. We have all of the best international teams coming here, so we get to play them on our home turf in an arena in a great environment in the city of Toronto. So it's great for Canadian curling. It's great for curling, and we really couldn't ask for anything more.
You're the skip of the team, right? I learned that today.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed.
That sounds pretty good. Do you send out scouting reports of the field at the Players' Championship?
You do. We play these teams throughout the year because of the Grand Slam series. We're lucky enough that we get to play the top teams, so we have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but you definitely do keep some notes on the teams and try to get any kind of advantage you can.
Now, Jennifer, I have difficulty managing the baseball games. There's another one up the middle, but you manage your curling and being a mom. just a newborn girl in November. So how do you manage all of those, and how often do you get on the ice?
I'm still on the ice every day, and because of my knee, I've been training harder than ever. It's because of my mom and Brent's mom. I've got great-grandparents, and they're actually watching her tonight, so I could come to the Blue Jays game. So hi, Mom. Thank you. I really couldn't do it without their support, and they've chased my Olympic dream with me, and I'm really thankful for that.
Have you broken down? Can you break down the fields that you'll be facing?
Oh, it's just the top teams. You have Eve Muirhead, who's the reigning world champion, and all the top Canadian teams are here. So we're going to have to go and light it up in order to be successful. But that's what's the best part about the Grand Slam.
Who's the biggest competition?
Well, Eve Muirhead just came off winning the world, so they're pretty tough. And then Rachel Homan, who beat us in the Canadian final, they played outstanding against us, and expect nothing but the best from them as well.
Will this be your first visit to Maple Leaf Gardens?
I was there watching the Maple Leafs a few years ago now. I'm a huge sporting fan, so to go back there and actually compete there, it's a dream come true.
There's a 6-4-3 play, 2 outs, and you can do this job too, Jennifer, as big a sports fan as you are.
I love baseball. My mom is a huge baseball fan, and we watched early 90s winning the World Series, so pretty exciting.
Okay, now I got a question for you. Do you think you could coach Pat and I and teach us a little bit about how to toss a rock?
Absolutely. I taught Michael Bublé how to curl at the Olympics,
really?
So yeah, I definitely, we got to get you guys out there.
I've thrown one rock in my life, and that was out in Moose Jaw, and Tiger Williams and I were at a benefit, and I almost threw it through the back wall. I had no idea how hard it was going.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
What is the first thing that you would teach me to do that? Now, I can't skate.
Don't fall down.
I
know you're not on skates, but
the biggest thing is don't step on the ice with your slippery foot. You want to go on so you don't fall. That's the key to success.
Can I wear my spikes from baseball?
That probably wouldn't work out so well, but it would be, it would keep you from falling.
Jennifer, you got to tell me, who's your favorite baseball player growing up?
Definitely Robbie Alomar. No, hands down. I loved watching the Jays, and I'll never forget Joe Carter hitting that home run, and my whole family was watching, but Robbie Alomar was definitely my favorite. I played second base growing up. So.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Did you wear number 12?
No, I didn't. I've always been 7 or 77, but yeah.
Well, Jennifer, we want to wish you the best of luck in the Players' Championship. We'll keep an eye, and maybe I'm thinking about making my way down to Maple Leaf Garden. I think it'd be a great event to check out.
You should, and if you are there, we're going to get you on the ice when it's over. Like at the end of the day, we'll get you on the ice, and we'll get you out there showing you a few tricks.
Maybe that's our next thing. We should get out there and try and do something like that.
We could probably attempt it, but I know it's a little rough. But Jennifer, once again, thanks for your time, and all the best, and good luck to you in this tournament, and December Olympic trials. That's going to be another great event for you as well.
My pleasure, and hopefully a lot of people come out and check out this curling. It's the best of the best, and we want to see as many fans there as we can.
Great.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations, and congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jennifer Jones, who's going to participate in the Players' Championship at Mattamy Athletic Center. And it all starts, you'll see it right here on Sportsnet.
I think we do have to go out there, Buck.
That's a done deal. We'll do that for sure.
We're home.
Yeah.
May as well.
We got nothing to do. Can't play golf yet. It's too cold. 2 outs. Runner at third base. First and third Rios took a walk. Paul Konerko, we mentioned Konerko and Burley. Best of friends when they were teammates with the White Sox, and Konerko delivered an RBI single in his first at-bat against Burley back in the first.
Big at-bat right here in the ball game. Huge at-bat, and this is for bragging rights between these two.
Oh, and you know they'll get on each other about it. Hey, I got an RBI my first at-bat against you, and Burley's going, yeah, but I beat you.
He'd probably let him go ahead and get a hit every time as long as he would get that W at the end of the night. Got to be very careful here. Konerko, smart hitter. He is always making adjustments. He is getting better the older he gets in this game.
There's a strike. Konerko has done a good job of hitting with runners on. Coming into this ball game, he was 5 for 13 with runners on base with a couple of home runs.
Can't say that about that whole White Sox team. They have not come up with the big hit so far this year.
Oh, good job. He went back door with that breaking ball and caught the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jays are up 4-2, top of the 5th.
White Sox came into this game 14th in the American League hitting with runners in scoring position, just over 130. They've got a lot of good hitters in this lineup, and this is one of them right here. Buehrle's got to make a pitch.
Inside, he pushed Konerko way off the plate. It's a full count. Tyler Green at third. He singled to start the inning. Rios at first. Rios will be off on the pitch. There are 2 outs. Rios walked. The hits are even at 8 apiece. There goes Rios. Missed. Buehrle has bragging rights now as he strikes out his old buddy Paul Konerko as the White Sox strand 2. The live audio follow games pitch by pitch and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry Z10. Season-long subscriptions packages are available for $19.99. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. At Bat 13 is the official app of Major League Baseball. Stay hot, Edwin. 3 for 3 night for Edwin Encarnacion, and that is bad news for pitchers around the American League.
We talked to Chad Mottola in Kansas City, and he said that Edwin was getting really close.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for Pat Henkin out in the bullpen. He requested him for early BP today, so maybe tomorrow he'll have to crank it up again.
Well, that's what Mottola was acknowledging. He tipped his cap to Henkin, says, get it loose because you're throwing BP tomorrow. Chad Mottola, well, he's put in long hours trying to get these guys right. Adam Lind is right. He's 2 for 2. Jack, did you ever have anybody that you just couldn't get out no matter what you did?
Yeah, we've already shared that story. But second baseman for Milwaukee for years, Jimmy Gantner, I just refused to believe that he could hit me. So he just went 4 for 5 and 5 for 5 off me.
What was he
never
hitting?
felt like he was going to get you, huh?
What was he hitting you?
Everything.
Fastball?
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Whatever I was throwing, he was hitting. I could tell he made sure all his relatives were there the night before I pitched because they wanted to feel good about the next day.
Did he send a limo to the ballpark? Make sure you made it there?
1-1 to Lind. Off the plate inside. You can see Floyd is trying to keep the hitters a little bit off balance now as he's thrown a few more pitches inside, too, in this at-bat to Lind.
Yeah, Lind has extended quite nicely his first 2 at-bats against Gavin Floyd. Extended his arms and that bat through the strike zone, so they're going to try and crowd him now.
Jim Gantner only hit .309 against you. He was 30 for 97.
Well, Buck, I told you the rest of the story. I knew the last year I got him out almost every time, and I said to myself, see, I could get you out. I knew I could.
So he was hitting higher than .309 before, huh?
Oh, yeah. If he would have retired a year or 2 earlier, it might have been 500.
Adam Lind has gone 2 for 2 tonight. He is doubled off the top of the fence in deep right center, and he's also singled to right. Goes after that high pitch. Lind's trying to get off the interstate. He's hitting 194, I-94 right now, and he needs a hit. And he told us earlier, I feel good. Just a matter of time before that average gets up where it's supposed to be.
2 hits tonight. Gavin Floyd now at 88 pitches, so there's a little activity in the White Sox bullpen.
Another pitch inside.
Look at pitch tracks right there. You think they learned something his first 2 at-bats tonight?
Got a little purpose on his face right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, it always happens when you're trailing. You know that your next run, you're taking a shower, and you seem to find a way to be a little more determined, and it's too bad guys can't take them on with that attitude.
There goes Encarnacion and pitches outside, and Lind walks. 2 on, nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. White Sox in town for the first of 4. Joe McEwing reminding the infield that there could be a bunt situation here. Keppinger sneaking in at third. Mark DeRosa doesn't show bunt, takes a strike.
You know, the only reason I don't think he's going to be bunting right here, Buck, Colby Rasmus has had a lot of problems with Gavin Floyd, the on-deck hitter. You play for 1 run and you usually get 1 run. I would play for the big inning right here. I wouldn't give him an out.
I think you're right. When you look at that White Sox lineup, there are a lot of power hitters in that lineup, and they can erase a 2-run deficit in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense right now to bunt the guys into scoring positions. He has used Mark DeRosa a couple of times already this year with the hit and run.
Ball's in the dirt. 1-2.
And Mark will shoot it out to right field. He'll take what's given to you. If they stay away, he'll recognize it and try to go that way.
Hector Santiago, one of 3 left-handers in the White Sox bullpen, and they've got a good bullpen. They're currently second in the American League in bullpen ERA. A lot of good arms down there. Breaking ball, and DeRosa strikes out. That's 6 strikeouts now for Floyd.
He's always had that ability to strike out batters with that good curveball, a little bit of a slider mix. Also, this one's 87. Looked more like a slider in a good spot.
Colby Rasmus has struck out in his first 2 at-bats tonight. trying to make him aware of that inside part of the plate and then set up that breaking ball, but he missed with the first pitch.
It looks like Devin's trying to overthrow a little bit right here. That was a breaking ball that just spun. Usually an indication that you're dragging your arm. And if you're Kobe Rasmus, you better be looking for a fastball right now, get ahead fastball, because if he gets ahead, it's going to be Uncle Charlie again.
Yeah, it's got to be keyhole too. You're looking for a certain pitch in a certain spot right now if you're the hitter. And if you don't get it, take it.
Many strikeouts as Rasmus has. As Turris on deck, do you let him swing away or you give him the take 3-0?
I'm letting him swing because he can knock the ball out of the ballpark.
He can hit the ball a long way if he runs into one.
At the fastball right down Broadway. It's 3-1.
And we don't know if he's taken on his own right there, if they put on the take, but it was right there.
Floyd has been able to throw his breaking ball over when he's behind. He's behind 3-1. Missed for that pitch. Looked like it might have been a changeup. Sturis is a switch hitter, and Robin Ventura has popped out of the White Sox dugout. And he's got that purposeful look on his face. Floyd has thrown 99 pitches, and there's the signal to the bullpen. It'll be the left-hander, Hector Santiago, as Floyd reluctantly hands the ball over to the skipper. Blue Jays have a 4-2 lead. Santiago to face Sturis when we come back. Four runs so far. He'll turn things over to the left-hander, Hector Santiago.
Santiago out of that bullpen. They've got a very deep and very good bullpen. He's a little bit different than the other guys that they bring in here. A lot of fastballs from the other guys. This guy's more of a screwball, changeup, curveball type of guy. This is a Sturis earlier tonight, homering for the second time this evening.
Bases are loaded for Sturis, who flips around and hits from the right side. Goes after the first pitch, and why not chase that high fastball and foul it out of play?
Well, with bases loaded, you can expect to get me over fastball, and that's what Meister is looking for there.
His put away pitch is a screwball, and you got to stay on it, take it the other way.
This is popped up over near the seats. Dunn giving chase, but it'll be beyond Dunn. Bounces out of play. Tell me what a screwball does.
For a right-handed batter, it's almost like a right-handed slider. It goes away from the right-hander. The lefty will take it. He'll get on top of it, try to throw it to the outside part of the plate. I think that's why Santiago has had so much success this year against right-handed hitters. He has not given up a hit in 13 at-bats versus the right-handers this year because he can throw the fastball inside, he can throw a slider in, and then come with that screwball.
And unlike the power sinker, screwball's thrown kind of the opposite of a curveball. Of course, Fernando Valenzuela and Willie Hernandez, both known for their fabulous screwball.
0-2, one up. Bouncing ball up the middle. Green steps on the bag and bounces it to first, but Dunn is able to keep his foot on the bag to end the inning. So Gavin Floyd gets saved by Hector Santiago. Now we head for the top of the sixth, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew, brought to you by Netra, Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products. Tonight, Pat Tabler, myself, and Jack Morris has joined us, and this will happen a few times during the course of the year. And Jack, after 2 runs in the first inning, Mark Buehrle has really settled down. What has been different for Buehrle since that first inning?
Well, he's locating the ball in the inner half. He's gotten the ball down in the zone, and he's getting ahead of most of the hitters. And those 3 things work good. Doesn't matter when in the game. When you're able to locate the ball, number one, and put it on the inner half, it really makes a difference.
And Pat, the hitters again tonight enjoying the friendly confines. 2 more home runs. They've got 13 now here at Rogers Center. What is it about this ballpark and the Blue Jay hitters?
I don't know if it's the background or whatever it is, but they are getting the ball up in the air. Gavin Floyd's been known to give up the home runs every now and then. Meiser Asturas with number 2 to right field. J. Pierre Ancibia with his 4th also to right field. But that last inning, that would have been nice to cash in one of those runs when they had the bases loaded and less than 2 outs.
Get into the double play, and that ended the threat. One thing that has bothered Buehrle early on in his own mind is walks and hit batters. He hit 2 batters in his first start, and he just hasn't been able to really command that strike zone. But in a situation like this, the last thing he wants to do is put Dunn on. Ground ball. Asturas deep in right. Buehrle is there to take the throw, and Dunn is retired.
Mark Buehrle is so confident handling the baseball. A lot of times pitchers, they don't want to deal with that baseball. Any ball on the right side of the infield, you've got to get over there, and Buehrle, the Gold Glover, gets over there, go to the line, come up the line. Watch how easily he just catches the ball, steps on the bag, and gets out of the way. Couldn't draw it up any better than that, could you, Jack?
No. And what makes him such a great fielder is the way he squares up after he releases the ball. He doesn't fall off the mound. He never overthrows. Greg Maddux won all those Gold Gloves. Those 2 guys do a lot of the same things when they finish off.
And he also knows who's running up that first baseline. Watch how quickly he gets out of the way. Big Adam does.
Catch it and get out of the way. Don't want to get run over by the big truck.
Big truck coming down that late baseline. Diane Vizieto. Dunn is 6'6", and he's listed at 280. He is a big man.
Yeah, that's not a Ferrari right there.
One out. We are in the 6th. There's another base hit as Vizieto just reached out and poked it into center.
The 2013 Honda CR-V, an IIHS top safety pick. Honda is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
A cool night, and that jacket looks nice. You might want to get 2 up because it's a little cold outside, but it's a busy night at Rogers Center. Memorabilia flying off the shelves. 1 out. Popped up on the infield. Historis, the second baseman, takes charge, and Ramirez is out on 1 pitch. Boy, it looks like the Blue Jays are starting to get their starting pitching sorted out. R.A. Dickey had a good start on Saturday in Kansas City. Brandon Morrow backed it up with a good effort. 6 innings on Sunday. But that's the key to this game.
And Mark Burley, 2 outs here now into the 6th inning, so if he can get another out, he'll be into the 7th inning for the first time.
Boy, that's the whole essence of winning. You get your starter to give you 21 outs, get into that 7th inning and finish that, then you're laughing.
I talked to John Gibbons about that today. I was saying, you've done a good job with your bullpen matching guys up towards the end of the game. He said, you know why? Because my starters have gotten me a lot deeper. I can rest guys a little bit more. I can pick my spots with my right-handers and my left-handers. Now, Mark Burley is a little bit different than some of the other guys in this rotation. Morrow and Johnson and Jay Happ, that he's sitting at 92 pitches right now. That's a little bit different than Brandon Morrow's 92 pitches. So I think if they choose to stretch him out, if he can get this batter here, and if he can have a quick 7th inning, we'll see him out there.
Flowers with the green light, 3-0, pops it into right field. Bonifacio makes the catch and Burley gets through 6. Blue Jays are up 4-2. the All Access Contest, part of the Sportsnet charity broadcast auction. Make a donation of $50 or more to Jays Care Foundation before April 24th, and you'll automatically be entered in the All Access Contest. You could win the ultimate Blue Jays experience, an opportunity to throw out the ceremonial first pitch before a Blue Jays game, a batting practice session, private greet and meet with John Gibbons, and much, much more. So make sure you sign up. For more information and contest rules, visit bluejays.com/JaysCare. R.A. Dickey and Mark Burley having a chat on the Blue Jays bench. It looked like Burley is getting set to come back to start the seventh.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Yeah, and that was R.A. Dickey looking to see, what'd you say to the manager? Because I couldn't go off the seventh.
Boy, you pitchers are so sensitive. How about Munenori Kawasaki? He says, you know what? I can play short for you guys. They had a triple and scored in the fourth. Everything you hear coming out of the brass of the Blue Jays, they're looking for a full-time replacement for Jose Reyes, and Kawasaki has been good. Boy, he gets a hot shot right back to the mound, and Santiago makes a good play on it.
Well, making contact, going right back up the middle. You can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, left on left. Stay with it. Gets it by him with his speed. That's going to be a base hit.
R.A. Dickey talking to the home run hitter, Meister Astures. Hit his second home run to lead off the second. That gave the Blue Jays the lead. They added an insurance run into fourth. We mentioned how good this White Sox bullpen is, and they're young. They had some guys come up last year. They used 10 rookie pitchers a year ago. The ball is popped back to the screen.
Remember the shot we had of them last year? They were all tied together by a rope. They were being led out to the bullpen, I believe, by Matt Thornton.
Matt Thornton had them all strung together, make sure they wouldn't get lost.
On the way out to the bullpen last year in Chicago.
Boy, they are talented. The future is bright for the White Sox in that relief corps. Santiago, 25 years old. They got Addison Reed, their closer. He was a rookie. Donnie Veal, hard thrower. The veteran Matt Thornton is the guy that has been the consistent guy that worked in the eighth inning.
Nate Jones has a pretty big arm also. Down in that bullpen. Santiago, they didn't know what to do with him last year. He tried to close a few games for him before they settled on Addison Reed last year.
Off the end of the bat, Bonifacio is quick, but not quick enough to outrun the throw of Ramirez. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Boy, you talk about a surprising start. How about the slow start of the Angels? 4-8. They've won just 3 of their last 10 games, but everybody expected them to be a powerhouse in the West.
Except me.
Except you. You didn't think they had the pitching, did you?
No, I didn't. I told you that in March. I thought they lost Zach Greinke. And they lost
Jared Weaver now.
Jared Weaver's out, but Heron and Irvin Santana. I mean, you take 3/5 of your starting rotation and try and replace them. I think you're just asking for trouble.
Joe Blanton's on the mound tonight.
And put it in perspective, Pat, you look at the struggles of the Blue Jays early is because the starting pitchers weren't doing their job, weren't getting deep enough, and now all of a sudden it's 3 starts, different starting.
Melky Cabrera drives it to left. Viciedo on the warning track, and Santiago has retired all 4 batters he's faced. We'll go to the 7th. Mark Burley Buehrle with his best start of the season. He's out for the 7th. He's given up 9 hits, but just 2 first-inning runs. Tyler Green goes after the first pitch. Buehrle is making his 14th start in the month of April since 2011. He has just 2 wins. He's 2-7 in the previous 13 starts in the month of April. So this isn't really that unusual for him. The slow start, obviously, he's going to whittle down that ERA a bit tonight.
I wonder if cold weather has something to do with that when he was with Chicago.
Boy, you can't ask for any colder place to play than U.S. Cellular Field in April. On the ground, DeRosa comes after to take the good hop and throws Green out. Well, a surprising aspect of this team was the fact that the starting pitching didn't get off to a good start, but it's starting to turn the corner.
Yeah, Ari Dickey threw a gem up there on Saturday, got deep into the 7th inning, and then followed by Brandon Morrow's good start, even though he didn't get a decision. And now tonight, Mark Buehrle getting into the 7th inning. That's just what the doctor ordered for John Gibbons.
You can just see it. You can see the quality of the stuff has been a lot better this time through the rotation. First 2 times, though, Dickey was all over the place. Morrow couldn't command his breaking ball in one of his starts, but since the Dickey start, it seems a little bit crisper.
And he is the lead dog, no matter the fact that he throws a knuckler. A lot of guys are going to watch his start and kind of build off of that.
You know, and you look throughout baseball, a lot of the big name pitchers have not had good starts this year. It might have something to do with the World Baseball Classic. It may have something to do with the fact that the innings that they're pitching in spring training. You know, I think that has more to do it with than anything.
You're talking lack of innings.
Exactly, lack of innings. They're getting 16 to 20 innings pitched in spring training. So basically, they're just getting their arms into 7-8 inning shape right now.
And the hitters are ready to go, and they're wearing them out early. 3-1. And you could hear Buehrle. That's the last thing he wanted to do, issue that 1-out walk. And that's going to be the end of the game. He knew it. As soon as he threw ball 4, you could hear him upset at himself because John Gibbons has that bullpen ready. If he gets that guy out, he's probably going to stay in the game. But now with the tying run at the plate, Gibbons will make a pitching change.
More than likely, they discussed that between innings. John Gibbons and Pete Walker probably told him, look, we needed to get through Piazza, and then we're going to go to the bullpen. So he knew it was his last out. But there's the Blue Jay fans giving him a round of applause and showing their appreciation.
And he returns the favor with a salute to the fans. It'll be Ishmael Rogers into the ballgame to face Jeff Teppinger. Blue Jays up 5-2. season goes 6 1/3. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, chatting it up with Burley, and a job well done. The one-out walk was the last batter he faced. John Gibbons with a handshake, and now Ishmael Rogers will come in for his 6th appearance of the season.
Last time we saw Rogers was in the Detroit series, and in that series he worked 4 innings and gave up 7 hits. So John Gibbons gave him the Kansas City series off. He was well rested. He's got a good fastball and a very good breaking ball. We might see a little bit more to that fastball now that he hasn't pitched for the last 4 days.
Keppinger goes after the first pitch, and it's a high fly ball to shallow center field. Rasmus makes the catch, and Rogers gets 1 out on the first pitch he throws.
Well, another thing that took place there by John Gibbons taking Mark Buehrle out of the game is he's leaving him with a good memory. He cannot lose the game. He can only win it. And right now only giving up 2 runs. It is his runner on first base.
Well, this is obviously a very poked lineup. Alex Rios hit 25 home runs a year ago, and there are big bats up and down the order. Diaz walked. He's at first. Down and away. The White Sox hit 211 home runs last season. They were 3rd in the majors in that department. They got a lot of pop. They had 5 guys that had 25 or more home runs.
And they count on those home runs. They were one of the highest scoring teams in the American League that rely on the home run.
This season, they've scored 59.5% of their runs on home runs prior to tonight. Rios gets one off the end of the bat. Bonifacio, good job by Rogers as he comes in and gets 2 batters to end the 7th. Mark Buehrle in line for his first win of the season. Blue Jays up by 2. Hector Santiago goes an inning and 2/3. The left-hander gives way to Matt Lindstrom, making his 6th appearance of the season.
Lindstrom was signed as a free agent by the White Sox in January. He's always had a big arm, and he's used that to a good start for the Chicago White Sox this year. Good fastball, hard slider from Lindstrom. You see the great numbers that he's had this year. 167 righties, even better from the left side, 143. He'll throw a little bit of a split in there.
Lindstrom started out last year with the Orioles. He was traded in August to the Arizona Diamondbacks in exchange for Joe Saunders. Now he he signed, as Pat mentioned, as a free agent back in January, and he's another powerful arm that they have added to this bullpen.
Fits right in to the Chicago White Sox and what they want from their relievers when they come out of that bullpen. They want to see a lot of heat. Been known to throw it up there at 97 or 98.
The catcher, J.P. Arencibia, batting in the third spot. J.P. homered in his first at bat. The White Sox scored 2 runs off Burley in the top half of the first, and Blue Jays stormed right back to tie it. Arencibia's home run tied it at 2-2. Off the end of the bat. It's going to carry deep into center, but Diaz is there. 1 down. Prior to tonight's game, PlayStation provided us with a simulation of who they thought the Blue Jays player of the game would be. The video game version picked Mark Burley. You can see the video game, 8 innings, 5 hits. In fact, wasn't too bad an effort by Burley tonight. He's right there in line with what the MLB 13 predicted.
A little bit quicker first inning, and I think he makes it to 8 innings tonight. 5 no earned runs. We'll take that this next time out.
The Predictor is brought to you by MLB 13, the show, only on PS3 and Vita. Available in stores now. Edwin Encarnacion looks like he's been playing a video game all night long. He's 3 for 3.
Had the infield single in the first inning, then he has found left field. That 5-6 hole his last 2 times up. Got to dial it up a notch here against Lindstrom. He's got a great fastball.
Lindstrom started his career with the Florida Marlins. Home run cut by Encarnacion.
He has also been a closer in his career, but he hasn't had a save since 2010.
Debuted as a Florida Marlin. He was signed originally by the Mets. Taken by the Mets in the 0-2 draft. High and deep to center field. Diaz at the track, and it dies in his glove. Encarnacion made a bid for a home run.
But you know what? He stayed on that breaking ball. Talking to Chad Mottola, he was telling me in Kansas City that Edwin had been pulling off just a little bit, that front shoulder leaking out. He stayed on a slider from a hard-thrown right-hander. That's a good sign. You've been there, haven't you?
Many, many times.
You can see he's just got underneath it a bit. Yep. Dougie Cabrera says that shoulder is staying on it much better. You're getting close. 3 for 4 for Encarnacion. Adam Lind is 2 for 2 with a walk. Pretty good night for 4 and 5.
Well, it's just good to see those two guys getting heated up a little bit because they're a big part of the middle of the order right now.
In case you're just joining us, Jose Bautista was scratched from this game tonight because of a stiff back. Not thought to be anything serious, and I mentioned it to Robin Ventura, the manager of the White Sox. He said, "Welcome to third base." You got to bend over at third base, and Ventura knows that well. He was a terrific Gold Glove third baseman in his playing days. And you know, Lind had similar problems when he went from DH to first base.
Playing the first base, you're right. He had some problems and some back issues, so he did a lot of yoga in the off season to strengthen the core. Tonight, he looks like Adam Lind from a couple of years ago.
Well, it's got to be an adjustment mid-season, and Bautista, a little crash course in ground balls in Kansas City, and might have led to his problems.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's a whole different set of muscles out right field. I think he enjoyed being able to go over and talk to the pitchers, too.
and hits it sharply, but Tyler Green is in shallow right, and he's retired. Matt Lindstrom sets the Blue Jays down in order in the 7th. We'll go to the 8th. Blue Jays lead it 4-2. The seat upgrade tonight, courtesy of TD. And they're on hand for a great ball game. Blue Jays lead it 4-2 as the White Sox are prepared to bat here in the 8th. And there we are in the middle of that Sportsnet banner. Jack Morris, Pat Tabler, and Buck Martinez on board. Three-man booth for the first time tonight, and it's been a blast. Great to have you, Jack.
Hey, appreciate it. I'm having fun.
We always have fun up here.
It's baseball.
It's baseball.
We can do it on the air instead of off the air.
Paul Konerko, the cleanup hitter for the White Sox, goes after the first pitch. Boy, a big point in the ball game back in the 5th inning. Konerko batting with a man aboard, 2 men aboard, and Mark Burley struck him out. Konerko's going to hear about that. He and Burley, great friends and longtime teammates with the White Sox.
And if the score stays like that, that was probably the pitch of the game right there. Took a little something off.
Yeah. Well, they're all big right now. For Esmil Rogers, he's got to go after 2 of their big boppers.
Konerko's in his 15th season with the Chicago White Sox. He's had a terrific run on the south side of Chicago. He signed originally with the Dodgers and was traded from there to Cincinnati along with Dennis Reyes for Jeff Shaw, who is a great reliever. That was way back in '98. This has popped up a mile high in shallow center. Rasmus gets there and makes the pitch. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Beautiful shot in downtown Toronto. Ishmael Rogers does a great job. He retires the first man he faces and turns things over to Aaron Luke, who will face Adam Dunn when we come back.
Done just about everything they've asked him to do. Comes out of the bullpen most of the time throwing strikes and throws a little across his body, but tough to pick up for the hitters.
Probably the best we saw of him his last time out.
Yeah, three innings and nobody got on base.
Yeah, 30 pitches, and he got his first big league save that day.
Outside fastball misses the corner.
I was talking to him the next day, and I asked him, hey, how do you feel after throwing 3 innings? That's the most he's ever thrown in the big leagues. He said, man, my hamstrings are killing me right now. You use your legs, and he really uses his legs.
Oh, and he hits Adam Dunn. So Loup will bring the tying run to the plate by hitting Dunn. And it's the first hit batter that Loup has given here this season. He tries to get that fastball away. You can see it never had a chance, and Dunn was trying to hang in against that possible breaking ball. Gets hit by the pitch. So Viciedo, a right-hander, will step in. 1 out. Boy, he's got a rip, doesn't he?
Yep.
I think this guy is set to have a big year. Dayan Viciedo. Been in the big leagues now for a couple of years. He's got outstanding power, and he was sitting on that #1 and got it and missed it.
Mentioned the White Sox had 5 hitters with 25 or more home runs. Pass to Rosa down the left field line. Dunn is headed around second. Melky Cabrera in the corner, digs it out. Dunn will stop at third as Viciedo delivers a 1-out double.
Well, if it wasn't Adam Dunn running there, I'm sure somebody would have scored from first, because that ball took a long time to get down to the corner.
He was on the fastball. Now he's on the breaking ball. That ball was up, and Mark DeRosa thought he had this ball. Just under his glove, he ticks it right at the end. Upset with himself that he should have come up with that one.
Well, that was a good replay. You saw that ball just sink under the glove, and it tipped off the thumb of that glove. So Viciedo will end a 3-for-4 night. He will give way to the pinch runner. That's the former Blue Jay, Dwayne Wise. He represents the tying run now, and of course Wise can run. Dunn's at third. He was hit by a pitch. So the first 2 have reached against Aaron Loup. There's an inside fastball to Ramirez. Ramirez is 1 for 3 so far. He lined out to the shortstop, single to right, and popped up. Drives this ball deep into center. Rasmus backs up. He's going to make the catch. Dunn tags at third. Here's the throw to third, and Wise moves over. You 2 tagged up, and it's a 1-run game. Ramirez drives in his second run of the season. So Loup hitting Dunn has cost him a run, and now it's a 4-3 Blue Jays lead.
Well, Aaron Loup is out here to get these 2 outs. Probably go to Casey Jensen in the 9th, but nobody warming in the Jays pen right now. And
so the catcher, Tyler Flowers, so far tonight, he's 0 for 3. Goes after the first pitch and pops it over the seats in right. And it's out of play. Boy, he's aggressive, and he's got big power. Last time up in the 6th with a man aboard and 2 outs, he had a green light on 3-0. Shows you what Robin Ventura thinks about his power potential.
Yeah, he was a little bit tardy, flew out to right field, but you're right, he's got big-time power. And I like that. I like taking chances on the road like that.
What pitch. He dotted the eye inside, boy.
And that's the one below the halfway point, down below the hands on the black. Not too many guys can hit that pitch.
0-2. And Seager holds on to the foul tip, and Loup strikes out Flowers to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays have a 4-3 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. At jshop.ca. jshop.ca has the largest online selection of authentic Blue Jays caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. Visit jshop.ca or call 1-877-JSHOP. And you can see they have had a steady flow of customers tonight here at the ballpark, and you can log on to jshop.ca and make sure you've got everything that the fans have here at Rogers Center. Mark DeRosa, the third baseman, 0 for 3 so far. Matt Lindstrom, in his second inning of relief, retired the side in order in the 7th. Well, that's a live arm. That ball really has a lot of late action on it.
It's free. It's easy. Got what pitchers describe as a quick arm to get through. It allows him to throw that baseball that hard.
For a lot of the guys that come out of the bullpen, it's just a matter of being able to command their pitches. They've got the arms, and it's just a learning process, even at this point in their careers, of getting ahead.
Hit on the ground. Tyler Green in shallow right throws out to Rosa. One down, bottom of the 8th. Robin Ventura has already made the signal for the left-hander. Kobe Rasmus is the scheduled batter. Lindstrom retires all 4 batters he's faced. He'll turn things over to the left-hander out of the pen. Welcome back to Rogers Center. Pat Tapper, Jack Morris, Buck Martinez. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Jack, things have turned around a little bit for the starting staff. Burley was good tonight.
Well, I think it's follow the leader, and R.A. Dickey threw his first gem, and it's been pretty much everybody stepping in tow. It's doing well. Burley looked good.
Donnie Veal, the left-hander, in to face Colby Erasmus. Erasmus walked back in the 5th. He's also struck out twice tonight. White Sox have out-hit the Blue Jays 10-9, but the Jays have the edge 4-3. Good rip by Erasmus.
I like this move by Robin Ventura, bringing the left-hander, force the hand of John Gibbons, see if he go to his bench. Veal's got a good arm. 91-95 with a good two-seam fastball. He's got a good curveball, but he needs better location with his curve and his changeup. He runs into some problems when he doesn't repeat his delivery, and he's not real consistent with that. But he's got a good breaking ball.
That last pitch was a good pitch. He started that breaking ball right at Rasmus's hip. 2-1. Rasmus rips it. Fair ball down the right field line. He's headed for second as Alex Rios digs it out, and Colby Erasmus with his first hit of the night. He hung in tough against the lefty.
That's what I mean about the inconsistency with the breaking ball. He threw a beautiful one to lock him up for strike 2, and then when he went to go and try and put him away, he hangs it. Stays right with it, does Rasmus, and rifles that ball down into the corner for extra bases.
A lot of times pitchers try to throw the last one even harder, even more movement, and what they end up doing is rushing their body and dragging their arm and just spinning the ball, and that one just hung up there for Colby to whack at.
The Blue Jays have an insurance run in scoring position, but that hasn't been the formula so far for the Jays. They're 0 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position, and for the season here at Rogers Center, just 3 for 38. That's a .079 batting average. They need to start picking up these scoring opportunities.
Well, if they're going to win ball games, the opportunities that are there, they've got to capitalize on. Especially in these close games, it's an opportunity to give your pitcher coming out of the pen a little breathing room.
They have too many good hitters not to hit with runners in scoring position. 300 hitters. They've got power hitters, but they're good hitters. They don't have that many holes.
Casey Jansen standing by. He is loose and ready to come in for the top of the ninth. He wouldn't mind having a little cushion. Torres fights off the inside heater.
Guys, John Gibbons does have 3 right-handers on the bench, although Bautista probably not available tonight. We talked about the roster move they made today. Casper Wells may have been a guy to come up in a situation like this, but they have brought up Ramon Ortiz to replace him.
Another arm in that bullpen.
Casper Wells was designated for assignment before this game, and John Gibbons has a thin bench. As Ramon Ortiz, a 39-year-old starter in the past, working out of the pen. That ball is fly to right, and Rasmus has to stay put. He's in scoring position already, and you don't want to challenge the arm of Rios. Tune in to Baseball Central weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 8 a.m. Pacific Time with Jeff Blair and Dirk Hayhurst. Listen on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and watch on Sportsnet 1. And Dirk is working with Jerry Howard tonight in the radio booth because Jack Morris is with us in the TV booth. Baseball Central weekdays at 11. 2 down. Munenori Kawasaki has to duck underneath that fastball. He was brushed back by Matt Thornton.
He's wondering about this league, I think. That's the second time at his coconut. And you guys know better than I do what that feels like.
Well, you know, Gavin Floyd knocked him down in the 4th inning, and he came back and hit a triple and scored. White Sox saw a lot of Kawasaki last year. He was in spring training. They both train in Arizona, and they played a lot against each other. So they have seen Kawasaki a lot. Oh, he hangs tough and slaps that ball away.
He's going to hang in on that left-hander. 92 miles an hour. Everybody shorten up against Kawasaki.
Kawasaki was a very good player in Japan. He played for the SoftBank Hawks in Fukuoka. So he has had a lot of experience. Lays off that breaking ball. He's a two-time Gold Glove winner in Japan. And the Mariners let him go. He signed with the Blue Jays late in March, and here he is in the big leagues again. There's a huge run at second. 2-2. Kawasaki strokes it down the left side. Long run for Viciedo. Dwayne Wise, excuse me. Wise came into the game as a pinch runner for Viciedo in the top of this inning.
That's Wise in left field. Viciedo a little bit better thrower than Wise. Right now, Colby Rasmus has to anticipate a base hit to the outfield. There are 2 outs. His secondary lead has got to be huge because Luis Rivera is going to send him on anything to the outfield.
Ball in the dirt. Rasmus has to hold his ground.
And Colby's doing that too. He's getting a huge lead. The White Sox are going to play their infield a little bit further away from the bag just to knock down anything to save that run so Rasmus can get that big secondary lead.
That bat starts through the zone. You've got to be moving toward third. Ground ball to the right side. Tyler Green is there, and Kawasaki is out. That ends the inning. Casey Janssen will come on for the 9th. He is 3 for 3 in save opportunities. It's a 4-3 Blue Jays lead. Honda is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
With the score tied at 2s in the second inning, Meiser Sturris leads off against Gavin Floyd. And he says, don't bring it in there. Hits his second home run of the season to the bullpen for the Blue Jays, breaking that 2-2 tie. Meiser Sturris flexing his muscles here at Rogers Center tonight.
Here's Sturris with his second home run of the season. Blue Jays have hit 2. Pinch hitter Connor Gillespie batting for Tyler Green takes the first pitch from Jansen. We mentioned Casey Janssen 3 for 3 in save opportunities early on.
He has been just pounding both sides of the plate. The fastball inside, outside, a little cutter. He's got a curveball. He's got 5 pitches that he throws at any time over the strike zone. And he'll nibble on that corner for a reason.
Connor Gillespie got a 5-game hit streak in which he's gone 9 for 19. He's had multi-hit efforts in 4 of his last 5 games and 5 of 8.
He was out of options and they didn't want to lose him. He made the team, and then the injury to Gordon Beckham, the second baseman, opened up a little bit more playing time, and he has responded.
Casey Janssen pitching from behind, something we don't see a lot of.
I was just going to say the very same thing. He usually comes in, throws strike one. Now he's behind in the count.
3-1 pitch. Right on the corner. Back in the at-bat.
Yeah, it almost looks like it took him 2-3 pitches just to feel and make the adjustment to the field mound. And now, patting his glove, looks in there like I can throw it down any lane I want to.
Comes right back from 3-0 and strikes out the first batter of the inning. 1 out. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Rawanka Osman. One down, back to the top of the order. Alejandro De Aza. 1 for 3 with a walk. There's the Casey Janssen we know.
Well, he's able to throw it down like Pat Henkin always calls it, the right lane and the left lane. I used to call it the gutter ball. But he can keep it right on the black.
And he can do it with that fastball like that right there. He also tries to cut that fastball to the right hitter, backdoor him just a little bit. Hope they give up on it. We've seen him float a curveball in that backside also.
Oh, 2. Just upstairs. Casey coming back from shoulder surgery. At the end of the season, he had a balky shoulder. Waited 5 weeks to see if it would get better. Contacted George Poulos, the trainer, and said, George, it's no better. So they opted for surgery, and he's still in the comeback mode. Back-to-back strikeouts for Janssen in the night.
When you fill up the strike zone and you throw as many strikes as Janssen, you get batters in swing mode. And when they're in swing mode, you can go outside the strike zone for your strikeouts. That time they elevate the fastball. And that one is by De Aza as he swings right through it.
And you wonder how a 90-mile-an-hour fastball gets by. That's not exactly blowing guys away, but he's doing it with finesse and location.
Jeff Keppinger. Boy, that get me over curveball. That's sweet. Keppinger is 1 for 4 on the night. The Blue Jay fans getting to their feet. Ball on the strike. Alex Rios is on deck. This is the guy Janssen wants right here.
They're not really known for the power. The home run, Jeff Keppinger, the guy on deck is. And that would represent the go-ahead run. So this is the guy they've been looking for all night, right here.
Tapped foul at the plate. Aaron Loup struck out Tyler Flowers to end the 8th. Janssen got the pinch hitter Connor Gillespie. Then De Aza now is a strike away from striking out the side.
Again, he's doing it, his lower body's going in front of his arm. And you tend to do that when you want to reach back. He's just got to stay back and get that downward angle.
Casey Janssen, his fourth save of the season, saves it for Mark Burley. Meister Astouris with a home run. J.P. Arancibia tied it way back in the first. Astouris' home run gave the Blue Jays for the lead, and they never looked back.
Good pitching from Mark Burley. A little shaky in the first inning, but he came back, filled up the strike zone with strikes, made good pitches, just enough hitting to win this game. Good job by the bullpen once again as John Gibbons works the bullpen to their advantage.
Well, just enough runs right there, timely hitting at times, and of course the starting pitcher going deeper into the game. You mentioned it, John Gibbons throwing over to the bullpen, and Casey Janssen again coming in throwing strikes and shutting down the game.
Mark Burley's first win of the season. The Blue Jays win the opener 4-3. We'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Connected coming right up.